What's up? It's Roy here. So today is September 16th. So you know what that means. A lot of people are getting this. Their brand new iPhone 14 Pro. I am one of them. I was very fortunate. Now I did pre-order this through T-Mobile originally, but I got an email a couple of days after saying that it was going to be back ordered till October 7th through November 2nd. I did not accept that. I canceled immediately and I took my chances this morning, went to a T-Mobile store as soon as they opened, which they opened early today at 8 instead of 10. And fortunately, the one by my house had this bad boy here. So in this video, like I do with all my other unboxing videos, I'm going to share my unboxing experience with you. Now with this having an eSIM, unfortunately, I had to unbox it in the store, but I had you on the back of my mind when I was doing that. I whipped out my phone, started recording, so that way I can at least share that experience with y'all. So trust me, I was really bummed, but with this new eSIM, T-Mobile really had to put their foot down and make me open it there so they could make sure that the SIM and everything was swapped properly. So is what it is, but we'll show you what comes inside the box or lack thereof with iPhones, and then just go over my initial impressions of this device. I've had the 13 Pro since day one, and so coming from a 13 Pro to this, what are my impressions of actually holding the real phone in my hand? So as far as the box goes, as you can see here, each of them are always going to be a little different looking from what I've seen. Now I went with the space black. So this is kind of the generic home screen that the space black comes in, and I'll show you here in just a minute what I mean, because each color has their own kind of individual screen, which you can definitely use if you want. It is a slim box, just like all other iPhone boxes lately, so very slim. iPhone branding on the side there, you got the Apple logo there, and then iPhone branding there, and then another Apple logo up top. And then here at the bottom, as you can see, it is the 14 Pro. And I did end up going with the 256 gig version. I originally wanted the 128 just to save the $100, but with space black, this is all they had. So it's really worth it, to be honest with you. Spend the extra $100 and get double the storage, just a no-brainer. So as far as the actual unboxing, you can kind of wiggle your way through it. There we go. And put that kind of to the side, and there it is. There is the space black, and I gotta say, guys, I love this color. I've missed space black, but I did like my gray iPhone 13 Pro, but there's just something to be said about having a darker phone, especially with that darker camera bump. I absolutely love it. It's not super shiny like my 13 Pro was. And then I'm gonna just kind of put that to the side here and then show you what comes inside the box. Now, we all know there is no charger inside the box. Unfortunately, we do get a USB-C to Lightning charging cable. So it's not super long, but it is what it is. And then inside the paperwork, it does remind you that you no longer need a physical SIM card. So to activate your eSIM during iPhone setup, which is exactly what I did at T-Mobile. It looks like we have a white Apple sticker. I was kind of hoping for maybe black or something, but is what it is. And then just some paperwork, and that's really it. Now you do notice now that we have an eSIM, there is no SIM ejector tool inside it. So that is one less thing now that you get inside the box. And now let's go ahead and peel off that. There we go. And let me get this bad boy powered on real quick. Now, full disclosure, I already got my phone set up. Normally I do that in these unboxing videos, but since I had to go ahead and open it at T-Mobile, I went ahead and took advantage of actually getting it all set up for y'all. So while it's getting booted up, which there it is, got that beautiful screen. This is what I'm talking about. I decided to go with the quote unquote purple screen. So there is different ones, which I'll show you here in just a minute, and there it is, Dynamic Island, right? That's what it's all about, right? That's why you spent that extra money to get this. So for me, this is definitely something I'm looking forward to actually testing out. But looking at the space black, one thing that I'm really excited about this phone is, like I said, it's matte black, right? I'm a huge fan of black phones. I'm a huge fan of black cases. If you know anything about my channel, which if you don't, you should totally subscribe. but I really love just the look of this phone. Now, one thing that I noticed immediately once I got it out of the box is the darker sides with the space black. So compared to my iPhone 13 Pro with the gray back, you did have that very shiny chrome stainless steel sides. And with the space black, it is still stainless steel, but it is black. It's darker. I do wish it was matte because this thing is a fingerprint magnet, but let's all be real. Most of us put cases on our phones anyways. But the point is, I really, really am enjoying the dark colors of everything, like the darker camera bump there. That is just something I absolutely love. Hopefully the camera is doing its justice here. Now, one thing you can tell as well right off the bat is how much bigger and darker the lenses are as well, right? So got a much larger camera bump. I say much larger, but a little bit larger, but you can definitely see it in person just by looking at it. Still on the side here, we have, we got our power button here. So got the power button, got the 5G antennas, we got the antenna bands here. Same thing at the bottom, right? So we got the very normal looking bottom compared to the other iPhones. So with the mics and the speakers and the lightning port. And then on this side, kind of the same thing, right? So as you can see, there's all those fingerprints, right? Just got it out of the box for y'all and it's already smudge city. But we do have the volume up and down buttons on this side. And then of course our alert slider. But as you notice, there is no SIM card tray like we usually have. And then there is the top. And then that's kind of the look of how the lenses kind of protrude out. So sticking out just a little bit, right? So pretty big booty there. So yeah, so not bad looking, but looking at the screen, everything is identical to the 13 Pro. So we have the same screen, a little bit slimmer bezels. The big obviously show is the dynamic island, which I will go into a further deep dive, maybe even with just a separate video, just talking about the dynamic island. But just looking at it, like let's say if I went to Spotify and I don't know, let's do the Think Media podcast, right? So I'm just gonna play one of their podcasts. So I'm on there, I'm listening to it, and then I just close. Well, as you can see, it just swoops right in to the dynamic island. So when you zoom in a little bit, you can see that there is a little picture there of the Think Media podcast, like kind of a skin cover there. And then just kind of the waveform thing going, just letting you know that something's playing. If I tap it, it opens right back up. If I long press, it's going to give me that right there, kind of a widget style. And that's it. And then boom, it's, pretty cool. So just kind of swoops right back into it. And then of course, if you just close out of the app, then boom, it goes right back to the dynamic island, just pill-shaped stuff. When you do hit it with light, I don't know if this video is going to allow me to do this or not. You definitely can see the original renders of the circular cutout, like the hole punch cutout, and then the pill-shaped cutout. But with software, obviously they've deadened or blacked out those pixels, to make it appear like it is just one big black pill shape there. But it's all software. If you kind of touch it, it kind of wiggles a little bit. So a lot of play I'm going to do with that dynamic island. So really looking forward to it. Overall, just kind of goofing around with the phone, playing with it. It feels great, very snappy, very smooth. Overall, just an initial big thumbs up with this device as far as the speed and everything goes. The 120 hertz is definitely nice. So I'm very much looking forward to testing out battery life and comparing it to the 13 Pro. Another big part of this phone is going to be when you turn it off and you go into the always on display. So my initial impressions so far with the always on display are very mixed. As you can see, it looks just like if the screen was just completely dimmed down, which essentially that's what this is doing. It's going all the way down to 1 hertz. It's making the screen darker and still allowing you to see, your clock or widgets that you have on here. Now, the only downside to this is something that MKBHD brought up, where it almost looks like your phone's still on. So when I had it on my desk when I was working this morning, it really made me keep on like double checking it, and then I would tap it and then it would turn back on, and then okay, then it would dim back down, and then there we go. And so, you know, it takes some getting used to for sure. I do prefer, in my opinion, Android's version of just completely blacking out the screen and only having, you know, the widgets and things like that showing. One thing I didn't like is I kept on playing around with the notification settings. So whenever I would get a notification, it would just stay on the screen. And so then I switched it to just the numeric type of thing where it would just give me the numbers. But it was really odd too, because then even without Face ID, I could like play with it and swoop up, and then I could still read the notification. So it's kind of some security things. Now maybe I'm still going to play with it, and maybe I'm doing something wrong, but just with my initial impressions, just with a couple hours that I've had it, I'm, like I said, kind of mixed, kind of 50-50 here on this always on display. Super stoked that they got one finally. I will obviously probably leave it on because I'm a big fan of always on displays, but the point is it's a little different. It's a little different. Do like the screens, the screensavers, or excuse me, the wallpaper. So I wanted to talk to you about that. So like I said, depending on what phone you have, which as you can see here, you can go to the add new wallpaper and go over to the collections and scroll all the way over to here. So this is what I'm talking about. So each color phone has their own quote unquote wallpaper. So space black, this is what it looked like out of the box. If you swoop over, this is what the silver color would be, gold, and then deep purple. Now, I'm a big fan of this one. I think it looks great. I really like all of them. I'm probably more of a fan of the silver. That would be number 2. This is number 1. And then space black would be number 3 for me. And then gold is a very distant 4 because I just don't like that color. But I really am digging the purple. I just think it looks really good. Now we do get some new cameras, right? Or, you know, we get a 48 megapixel main shooter now. So in my review, I'll be playing around with that. But from all the videos that I've seen, looks super sick. Definitely in the video mode, we do get some really great features, like you can shoot now in cinematic mode in 4K 30 frames per second, as you can see there. So that is a big plus, being able to do that. I'll play around with that in a little bit, or future test, not in this video. And then also with the video modes, now I haven't been able to see, oh, there we go. I was trying to figure out how you could do the action mode, and it looks like it's right there. So if you do action on, you got it on there. Now I do know that it crops in quite a bit from what I've seen, and you are still shooting at least in some sort of HD. It's a 2.8K at 24 frames per second, as it says here. But looking at some of the videos I've seen on YouTube already, really looking forward to testing that and seeing if it is truly gimbal-like. And then you just go and turn it off. Looks like we got a ProRes mode there, obviously, which that is, you know, here it shows max time of 26 minutes. Won't be probably using that terribly too much, but maybe every now and then for some videos. But all in all, guys, it feels fantastic. Like I said, it's if you've had a 13 Pro, then this is very familiar. But there are some key new changes that I think are going to really make it worth your while to consider upgrading to this. Resale value on Apple products is insane. You could sell your 13 Pro, turn around and get this and only maybe owe a few $100 out of pocket. I took advantage. I'm on Magenta Max with T-Mobile. I traded in an old S21 that I really haven't messed with in months, and they gave me $800 for it. So after everything's said and done, I'm only going to be paying $300 for this phone. So that was a no-brainer. So definitely keep your eyes open. Don't just go and splurge and spend the $1,000. You know, if anything, go on Facebook Marketplace, find a phone that's got a good trade-in value and buy it, because I've done that plenty of times. So definitely some little tricks, right? But there you go, guys. There's the 14 Pro. Really digging it so far. and really looking forward to doing some other videos. Definitely keep an eye out for all my case videos that I'm going to be doing. I've already dropped a few here and there, but a lot more phone case videos coming as well. So hit the like button if you liked the video. If you loved it, please subscribe, guys. Ring that notification bell for up-to-date content. It really helps out the channel. So be safe. God bless. We'll see you on the next one.